Hey, so this is a new sort of video style I'm trying out. Hopefully it proves well. Roblox game reviews. I do have some other games planned for this series other than this, like Accurate Piggy RP by Tenuous Flea, Us, Our Toys and Ricky Rat by Glowez, and oh boy is that one a whole different can of worms. Also, at some points in this video, I'm gonna go, hey, I think this would be a cool addition, but developers are under no obligation to, actually implement them, if that wasn't obvious already. Anyway, I'm not gonna hold off of the video any longer, so roll the intro, Mr. Editor Man. Okay. So a little under a week ago, a video appeared in my notifications box from my good old buddy Devown. Little guy in the thumbnail looked pretty goofy, so I decided to just check out the video. Maybe it would be good, and I am so glad that I did. The game in the video appeared to be pretty fun, so I decided, hey, why the hell not, and tried the game out for myself. Then, like, a day after, I had an idea to make this kind of content, review-style videos, and hey, what better way to start off this series on a good note than with this lovely little horror game, Rainbow Friends. I got some of my friends into a call, asked one of them to record so that I could have footage from someone else's perspective, and we played through the games a total of 3 times. Mind you, not everyone managed to live through it, but hey, that doesn't matter. Okay, explaining time over, time to actually, get into the game. So joining the game, you will be placed in a lobby area, like how most story games do. There's not much to do other than get teleported into the actual game, but you can also play around with one of the game's key mechanics, which is hiding under a box. You have this little square attached to your hip, and you can take it out, unfold it, and it expands into a box, which you can use to hide under. Although, at one point when I still had the box on during one of the game's cutscenes, I turned into, this thing.
Me. Don't be like me.
Wait, what? Stand still. I want to take a photo. I want to take a photo.
Stop looking at me!
Yeah, boy.
Stop it! Stop looking at me! Stop it! Stop!
Standing in the glowing circle around the bus in the lobby will eventually send you to the actual game along with some players, and you're thrown into an opening cutscene where at least one player is going to crouch uncontrollably. Also, the actual name of this place is called Chapter 1, so there could potentially be more chapters coming out. Ooh. In this cutscene, it shows us that we were originally going to a place called Oddworld, which I can only assume to be some sort of theme park, what with the giant Ferris wheel over there. But some mysterious shadowy figure goes and flips the arrow on the sign around, making the bus driver think that we're supposed to go on the path that extends out to the right, which I'm not sure why he did that. I mean, he'd have to at least be suspicious that instead of going on the paved road, he'd be going on dirt and rocks and stuff. Anyway, the bus ends up crashing because, dirt and rocks and stuff, and we end up getting dragged away by the shadowy figure and taken to the strange building, which I'm pretty sure is an old Oddworld, since it definitely seems like it was made for like school trips and tours and such. Also, speaking of Oddworld, my god, this map is beautiful. Look at the grass, look at it, look at the leaves! Seriously, whoever built this map and made the textures for like the grass and stuff, props to you. The place looks fantastic. Anyways, gorgeous map aside, the shadowy figure starts to talk to us, saying that he needs our help. Oh boy, I wonder what he needs help with. Maybe he needs us to... His blocks fell over. Yeah, that's it. This man, or woman, crashed a school bus, possibly murdered the bus driver, kidnapped the surviving passengers, and trapped them in an abandoned tourist attraction to put his blocks back on a table. This guy's insane. So the game plays out how you'd probably expect it to when a guy goes and says, go find my blocks. You go find his blocks. This game is like 70% fetch quests, but to be honest, it's not that annoying. When I first saw and played this game, I thought it was going to suffer from a little something I've called Bendy syndrome, which is when a game has way too many annoying fetch quests than it needs, like how Bendy and the Ink Machine had, which can really suck if it's a pretty long game. But Rainbow Friends is only like 30 minutes long on most occasions, and the map doesn't feel too big for it to be annoying, so it actually works pretty well for it. I think it helps that you can carry up to 10 of the items around with you, so you don't have to only carry one, then go back to the other, and so on, and so on. Also, after a certain amount of time, the items will begin to glow with a light that you can see through walls. So you'll be able to know exactly where the rest of the items are eventually, which is definitely useful. Back to the game again. While you're collecting Mr. Bullhead looking guy's blocks, you soon discover you're not alone. You can hear weird groans that sound like some sort of child giggling, but distorted. you begin hearing these big, heavy footsteps. And eventually, and inevitably, you'll find Blue, the most prominent antagonist in this game. Blue is, who I assume to be, the leader of the bunch, what with him being the first you encounter and his cute little crown he's got on. Blue bumbles around the map looking for anyone who might be nearby. If you hear his footsteps, and the smartest thing to do is hide in your box. However, if he does see you, and then you go in the box, you get this big red exclamation point above your head, and as long as that thing is above your head, he will run after you, and he'll catch you even if you're in the box. What I found to be a good technique is trying to round corners so that you're out of Blue's field of view, and then hiding in your box. The exclamation mark is no longer above your head, it means that he's lost you. Also, speaking of getting caught, the jump scare noise is pretty weird. It's this weird sort of, I don't know, long beep sound. To me it feels like they were going something that you typically see in analog horror, you know, when the video freezes and it constantly replays half a second of audio over and over again to make a weird beep noise. But for this it just doesn't fit. I mean, here he just stares me to death. I think something like how Piggy does its jump scares would have worked better, because the long beep noise just sounds out of place. Anyway, another method you can use to hide from him are these lockers around the map. They basically act sort of like the boxes, but just built into the walls. There are also crawl spaces around the map that you can hide in. But unfortunately, it is entirely possible to just hide in there for most of the game. At least, just for the early portion of it. But we'll get into that later. Also, something I forgot to mention about the boxes is that they're customizable. You can buy skins for them and everything. Skins typically range from recolors to completely different meshes, which I really like. My personal favorites are the Lego box and the tire stack. Anyway, once you find all of the guy's blocks, he thanks you and mentions that he hoped Blue didn't get too many of us. Oh, but if you thought that was the whole thing, then oh boy, you were wrong. Mr. Shadowy Figure ain't letting us go quite yet. He puts us in a room full of beds for us to sleep in, so he's literally keeping children here held hostage for multiple days. But just before we're sent to the bedroom, we're treated to another lovely cutscene. Hello. Yeah, there's multiple characters in this game. This is Green, a blind inflatable tube man who just really wants to find his glasses. Since he's blind, as I mentioned, you don't really have a reason to use your box around him, so you can just walk right past him. Just don't get too close to him, otherwise you're going to get scooped up and turned into chowder.
Nom nom nom, nom. That was delicious!
Oh, and did I mention that Blue's still lolloping around while Green's here too? Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with both of them at once. Green doesn't seem to make too much noise though. Blue seems to just groan most of the time. But Green just... But if you're lucky, you'll get to see him perform his beautiful mating call. So gorgeous. It brings a tear to my eye. Anyway, during night 2, instead of collecting blocks, you're collecting food packets to put in these vending machine things. I'm not entirely sure why though. Maybe it's our food and we eat it off screen. I'm not sure, but once we collect all the food, it seems someone here had a keen sense of smell.
Hey, we did it. Let's go.
I'm sure nothing
no,
bad can come from this. Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Whoa!
He's just getting some nachos, dude.
Anyway, before night 3 begins, Shadowy Figure for some reason points out how the vents are leaking. I'm not sure what this was supposed to mean, but okay, go off I guess. During this night, we're told to collect these fuses, which look more like light bulbs to me, but that's fine. Shadowy Figure tells us that once we power this machine, he'll finally show us why he brought us here. Spoiler alert, but I beat the game twice and I still don't know what the machine does. Who knows, maybe it could just be a really impressive popcorn maker. Anyway, while collecting fuses, if you waste too much time, you'll anger the orange. I don't know if you could tell, but I really like this guy. Look at him. Orange functions like this. He'll sit in his little cave taking a nap. Outside his cave is a bowl and a food dispenser. You can give the dispenser a little nudge and it'll, well, dispense food into the bowl. But make sure you don't stand close to the food dispenser for too long, since the sound of it will wake him up. Look around for a bit, and then realize...
Oh wait, there's somebody down there, I just noticed that!
And he'll run after you, and he is much faster compared to the other characters. Orange doesn't have his food when he gets hungry, an orange line will appear along the map, indicating where Orange will be going. And this is what acts as a thing to prevent people from camping. Sometimes the line can pass one of the crawl spaces, and if you are nearby Orange while he's on patrol, he will see you and he will eat you, in crawl space or not. He's so small that he can just walk right into them with no trouble at all. For example, this is Arta19 Mate, and he thought that it would be just a swell idea for him to just stay in a hole for the entirety of the game and let everyone else do the work for him. Unfortunately, Orange had other plans. And yeah, that's the last character that gets introduced in the game. There's no other characters after Orange, and yeah, I personally think that it's a pretty nice amount of characters. They all behave pretty uniquely from one another, and honestly I think this genre of games is pretty overlooked. A game that piles on different AI that acts differently from one another. It's a concept I'm surprised hasn't been explored more on Roblox.
Surprise, motherfucker!
So yeah, this is what Shagdui figure meant by the vents leaking. This is purple. At least, I think it's purple. He's never mentioned by name, but he's coloured purple, so I'm just going to call him Purple. Every now and then, during nights 3 and after, you hear what sounds like something crawling around in vents. And that's how you know Purple has moved locations. He'll sit on a vent on the side of a wall, his big old peepers peering out, and his gross little goblin hands emerging from time to time. If you walk in front of that vent, he'll pull you inside and eat you for breakfast. I'm pretty sure he's the one that catches people the most off guard, since he's never really mentioned directly, and neither is his mechanic. Shadowy figure mentions that Green is blind. The player probably stumbled upon Orange's cave on previous nights, and in the cutscene saw that Orange liked food, so decided to go check his cave. But for Purple, it's just,
Oh, the vents are leaking. Oh well.
and since Night 2 only added one new character, you'd probably assume Night 3 would do the same. But nope! There he is, in all his little gremlin glory. Anyway, once you've collected all the fuses and powered the machine, it creates a powerful power outage. This part I actually really like, because Shadowy figure mentioned that Night 3 was supposed to be the last night, but after the power goes out, he just seems confused, and you're sent to the bedroom without any further word from him. It's intriguing. Anyway, we aren't done yet. Now we have to go find batteries to power a generator, but the difference is now the map is much darker. Honestly, not that big a difference, it's just an atmosphere change, since you're given a flashlight to provide light, of course. They're really nearby the spawn point, and they have a yellow glow to them, you can't miss them. No new characters were added this night, thankfully, and once we power the generator, Shadowy figure decides that just powering the machine again isn't going to change anything, and it'll just make the power go out again. So he decides to just let us go, but not without some delicious goodbye cake. Ooh! We're sent back to the bedroom, and there are these party tickets on a table which you can insert into a little machine to get a party hat. Mine's a little ill-fitting because of my sun hat, but it's all good. We're taken to a new area now, an area with a stage that Blue's taken a nice little nap on. It's shown to us through a balloon falling on the pointy end of a party hat, and if we pop any of the balloons that decorate the ground, and Blue will wake up and go investigate them. Pretty easy to just walk around the balloons, and if you're lucky someone won't take the hint and just walk forward and clear a path for you, so you get past all the balloons, go up this little staircase, and yeah, that's the end of the game. Shadowy figure lets us go, and he lets us leave with a slice of cake. What a nice guy. You know, I kind of thought he was evil, but... So the cake was a lie. When everyone gets to the cake, a balloon will lower itself onto a fork near the cake and pop, inevitably waking up Blue. The door next to the cake flings open. We go into this room full of giant wooden blocks that are holding a wooden bridge up. What we need to do is clear these blocks from under the bridge because unfortunately we cannot jump. That's right, Shadowy figure must have done some surgery on our legs while we were passed out because we've lost the ability to jump. As soon as that bridge touches the floor, Blue immediately busts through the door. Which rhymes. You'll have to go through some vents where Blue will go full-on huggy-wuggy poppy playtime on you, crawling through the vents after you, and breaking boards that may be in his path. Let me just say that the sounds, combined with the feeling that Blue might be right behind you, as well as his sense of urgency while he's crawling through the vents, just makes this final chase scene all the more tense, and I love it. Eventually, you'll reach the exit, crawl through a gap in the fence, and just as Blue is about to come through the doorway, it'll close on him, and he just says to himself,
Yeah, that hurt. Now screw this, I'm going back. You guys.
and we're free, I think. There seems to be a fence in the way of us getting out, but I'm pretty sure we managed to escape. A short little credit scene plays afterwards. Also, apparently, this was made by the same guy who made Roblox Spider. You know, that game that turns your Roblox avatar into a creature beyond recognition. Yeah, that one. However, during the credits, it's revealed who Mr. Shadowy Figure was all along.
He's red! The scientist guy was
I
the
have
color red!
underestimated.
Oh my god, he's
What?
red.
Oh my god,
He's
they're the
high.
primary colors!
He's cracked!
high.
He's high! Yeah, that explains why his silhouette was so strange. He was one of the colour people this whole time. And actually, there was some really neat foreshadowing here, although I'm not 100% if it was intentional or not. You see, in the map there is this theatre room, which is where you'll be visiting the most, since it's where you place all the collectibles, the food packs, the blocks, the batteries. And in the theatre room, there are these coloured barrels. At first glance, you probably think that they're just random bright colours, because, you know, rainbow friends, rainbow is in the name. But if you look a bit closer, you'll see they're the colours of all the characters we saw. Blue, green, orange, purple, kinda, and red. But this does leave me with some questions. If red is clearly more intelligent than the other colour friends, were the others smart before? Did red turn them into these abominations? I guess we'll have to find out until the next chapter. At least if there is a second chapter. If one does come out, then you bet your butts I'm gonna play it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're getting close to the end of the video. To summarize, Rainbow Friends is a short horror game experience where you run from spooky looking colourful monsters who all behave uniquely, while you and some friends go around running errands for a possibly evil scientist. Gameplay is repetitive but not too tedious, and it's got some really neat character designs. I give this game a 9 out of 10. Really fun, but maybe room for some improvement on the gameplay department. And also, just as an extra thing, just because I'm such a sucker for spooky designs, I drew some scarier versions of the Color Gang. I kinda like the designs I made, but still, nothing will beat the originals. Although, there is one other thing that could be improved on. I think blue would look cute with a little cake.